the worse it gets.
I agree. I agree, but I mean, they're saying E 2.0 is going to launch September supposedly, but
September 19.
Yeah. So if that happens, that would mean hopefully Profix said, yeah, we could launch apps. It would be easier before. So if that's the case, hopefully, I'd love to see it before PulseCon. We'll see.
Okay. Do you think it's going to launch before the movie or after the movie?
It's going to launch. I have some inside tracks on this Krakatoa, just so you know.
Your yacht info, intel.
Yeah. Oh, you were on here the other day?
Yeah, you gave me a big theory, and I saw someone typing about it in chat not long ago. Today, someone was talking about it.
Yeah.
Same deal.
I think. Well, the producer said, we're not going to finish this movie until it launches, and then Richard Hart is, I want it launched now. The producer said, well, you're good at what you do, I'm good at what we do. And so the last shot, they're expecting to be on the yacht, and they reached one of my friends who I know for 20, 21 years. He's a day one Hexian, and he has access to the yacht. So he reached out to Richard Hart.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah.
You've told me this.
Yeah.
I know the story.
Yeah. Anyways,
here's the thing about you show the movie first, and then I'll launch, and then no, you launch, then we'll show the movie. Richard wants them to launch the movie so they can get the free advertising, and then he launches. But they want him to launch, which is like free advertising for their movie.
Well,
see,
Krakatoa.
They're both at odds.
Yeah, I agree. They are both at odds. But I will say this: when you watch a movie, I don't care what movie it is, you want the climax at the end. When you watch Rocky, you want to see who won at the end. When you watch any movie, you want to know the ending. You want to know if he died, if he lived, whatever the case may be. So, what kind of a movie would be if at the end people don't know how it what happened after launch, a month after launch, whatever the case may be. So the producer has a great point, though. You got to give him that.
Yeah, you'd be showing a movie about this great product and this story behind it and some of the people in it, and then people go, hell, I want to get on this, and they go click and look for it and they can't find it.
Exactly.
What's the point of that?
Exactly. Okay, so we're on the same page. Yeah. Could you imagine? So you love the movie, you love the story, you love everything about it, and then you click to buy it and you can't even buy it. So I mean, come on. I think that they're gonna shoot that up. They're gonna. So I know you know the story. Maybe other people on here don't. So Richard Hart said he, spoke with my friend and said, "Where are you located?" He's located in Newport, California. He doesn't own a yacht, but he has access to a yacht. And Richard Hart said, "No, I need a yacht in Europe." So he got a 108-foot yacht, access to it. I'm not saying he bought one, but he did get access to it. And the last shot is going to be shot on that yacht. Is what we heard from the State One Hexagon. And if that's the case, if they're shooting now, then that just means that right after that it could launch. So we'll see. This guy's made millions, I can tell. So he's kind of he's not some schmuck that owns 20,000 X. He owns he's made over $10 million with Hex. And I know him personally, so he's not full of shit. So. What time is it right
now? It's 3:15 in the afternoon. I don't think how much Hex. I don't think how much Hex has means shit. Like I onboarded someone, he's got holy shit more than your guy has, way more. You can probably call him a whale.
I don't know about way more.
I reckon. Last time I looked, it was worth about $60 million worth. So anyway, he doesn't know. He has no clue. Just because he has a lot of hex doesn't mean he knows what's going on.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying, well, I mean, well, I kind of am saying that, and let me tell you why. If you're a day one Hexagon, day one, okay, and let's say you own, I don't know, 50, 100 million, 200 million, a billion hex. I don't know. He never told me what he owned. But if you're a day one Hexagon, you're in the in, Krakatoa. You are. You're in the in. You know,
No,
Tam,
I'm a day one, and I don't know. No one tells me shit. I'm a fucking mushroom. I'm a fucking mushroom here.
Krakatoa, I never knew that about you, bro. God bless you. Wow.
I've only told you about 10 times, Jake.
No,
Come on.
I don't know. I don't. Okay, maybe twice. Maybe twice. But okay. Well, I don't. Well, you're not. Well, you're in freaking Egypt, Bib. I'm talking about Southern California. You know where all the good-looking chicks are. Although there's some good-looking women where you are too. I gotta.
Allegedly. Allegedly. Come on.
That's funny.
You're like, I'm day one. Fuck, I don't know shit. No one's telling me anyone. No, I know less than you, it seems. So, no one's ringing me up or sending me little sneaky text messages anywhere. Hey, guess what? Just because you're a day one Hexagon, you can be on the inner circle and you know what's going on. Fuck off. I don't know you. I don't know what's going on.
I can tell that it's so funny because I'm nowhere near a day one Hexagon, and I got invited to a few different chats, and I'm like, why are they inviting me? You know, it's kind of. I think, and I talked. Redneck, right? Crack. Redneck, obviously, right? You've heard him on the chat, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, okay. So he's my friend. I talk to him on the phone, and we have conversations all the time. I introduce me to his wife, stuff like that. I haven't met him personally, but over the phone I have. So I'm like, hey, Redneck, so why are they inviting me? And he goes, well, Jake and Inter, you on board a lot of people, and they probably want you to be a part of their deal because you know some folks. So again, I don't know. I try to. I came on here a year ago, a little over a year ago, June. I want to say June of last year on this chat. And first person I ever talked to was Identity Block, right, Crack? I'm sure you do.
I know who he is, yeah.
Yeah. So he was like a day one Mexican too. I met him and I came here and learned a lot of stuff. So a lot of people got off the chat, went to different chats, but as well as myself. But I always try to come back to the chat and try to give back some life, from the things that I've learned. So when I come here at night, it's because I just got off work, whatever the case may be, and I want to, engage with some people so I can. And one thing I'll never do is if I don't have the answer to a question, I'll find out what it is rather than give false information. So, but it's good to hear you. Good to hear you, man. There's been a few people on here engaging past week or so, but the more the merrier. I think that once Pulsechain launches, it's going to get kind of crazy on here, and they're going to have a ton of questions. And so I think it's kind of cool to any questions you might have right now. If we can answer, we'll reach out to Walrus and Papa Boner and Profex and some of these Gamma, some of these other
They
people.
don't know. There's only one question, and they don't know
No, they
the
do
answer.
know. Well,
They don't.
well, I mean, come on. I'm not cracked. I'm not talking about launch date, and I'm not. I'm talking
It's
about
the
different questions.
it's the
I'm
only
talking.
question. It's the
Everybody
only
wants to know.
question. Yep, that is the only question. Everything else falls behind it. Sorry.
Okay, I understand that. But let's just say, hold on a second. Let's just say that you onboarded somebody today and they came onto the chat to get some information to kind of learn more about Richard R projects.
I
And
would not onboard. I would not onboard anyone today. I would tell them you have to look at the story. Well, we've been waiting for a year now and it hasn't turned up yet. And then they go, and they'll look at me cross-eyed and they go, "You fucking for real? You telling me a fairy tale? What's going on?" It's too embarrassing to onboard anyone.
well, I've got to be honest. I haven't onboarded anybody in about probably 5 or 6 months. I agree with that. But What about people that have? Let's just say my next door neighbor onboarded his sister, and she's on here right now, which she's not. I'm just, throwing that out there. And she comes out here to get information, and then there's, then they come out here and they're like, "Oh my God, I got into, I bought $1,000 of Hex, and I'm on this Telegram, and did I do the wrong thing?" So they didn't do the wrong thing. If you're on this chat, you're in the right place. I mean, we've been waiting for a long time, absolutely. But I'll tell you what, if you got into Hex the first day, or Ethereum the first day, or Bitcoin the first day, you're probably doing pretty good. So that's all I'm saying, Craig. It's all said and done. We'll be fine. Did you answer my question as far as your thoughts this year or next year? I remember hearing that.
I have no thoughts. It's a waste of time contemplating, I think, because we've got no facts. All we got is the words from Richard's mouth. That's it.
That's good
Got nothing
enough for
else.
me.
Well, not for me.
No
And just like that, and just like that, Papa Boner slithers into the chat. He doesn't creep, he slithers.
Krakatoa, I think that's bullshit. I think you do have some thoughts. I think you have a thought. You think it's either next year, this year, or next year. You do have a thought. So don't say you have no thoughts. You're not thoughtless.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
What? I don't speak. What?
I have cleared my mind. My mind is a blank slate.
Oh, that's funny. Well, it's been that way since the first day I met you, like 8 months ago.
Ah, so I was in here before you.
Actually, I got in here in June of last year. Actually, June of last year. So yeah, you
Well,
probably
that's
were.
more.
Yep.
That's more than 8 months in that. So
I know, but I met you. We started fighting like 6, 7 months ago.
there was no fighting.
We used to have some good conversation though. That was fun. Is Papa Bona in here?
His name is in
Papa,
here. There he is.
Hey, Papa Bona.
Hola, amigo.
Papa. Hello.
Krakatoa. Papa Boner knows I'm Mexican, so he's saying, "Hola, amigo. What's up with that, Papa Boner?"
Yeah, you can take the Southern California boy out of Southern California, but you can't take the Southern California boy out of the Southern California boy.
Good to hear from you, man.
The Southern
Likewise.
California boy out of the Southern California soy boy.
Well, Krakatoa, Papa Boner is from California, man.
I thought if you took the Southern California now the Southern California, yeah, we're left with a Mexican.
What a dick. I'm actually Spanish, French, Mexican, How you doing, Papa?
I'm good. Just kind of Just starting my day. Stayed up way too late, and now I've overslept, and now I'm getting things going. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good.
We
We're doing good.
we're just trying to read the tea leaves, contemplating the only question that is there. Not getting any answers.
Hold on a second, Krakatoa.
It's the only question. It's the only question.
Hold on. Let me put my two pesos in.
I thought you said you're going to put your teeth in. Okay.
So Papa Butler, before you came on here, I asked Krakatoa, what's his gut feeling as far as launch prior to January or after, and he says he has no thoughts, and I disagree with him. We were just talking about that when you came in. I think everybody has some kind of a thought. But what are your thoughts? I mean, everybody respects you.
Prior.
What? Oh, so Pryor. Did you say Pryor?
Pryor, like Richard Pryor, yes.
Okay, good. Okay, we're on the same page. Okay, cool. Amen. Exactly. Told you, crack.
Smoking Krakatoa.
Yep. Hey, Papa Boner, were you in here like 5-6 months ago when him and I would get into it?
Yeah, did you guys ever, with all that sexual tension, did you ever seal the deal?
It's funny. I was talking to him 10 minutes ago. And he goes, "Take it in." And we never argued. I'm like, "What?" He goes, "We never fought." I go, "Shit, we used to get into it big time." But I got to tell you, he's a breath of fresh air right now because I'm not in. I'm back in his chat, and I was talking to Tam the other day, and some of the other guys, Big Bud and Redneck and stuff, and we got to get back in this chat and get ready to go. I think honestly, I really never. I hate to say that as a salesperson. I never do when I'm selling a car because if I can't be honest, if I'm going to be honest now, I should have been honest at the beginning. So I never say that when I'm trying to sell a car. But I will say this: my conviction is that I think it could be the end of August at the latest November. Those are my thoughts. That's my feeling. We'll see.
Hey, that thing Richard did with Kitco, I never watched the entirety of part 1. Did he revise his estimate for Bitcoin, or did he stick with 11K?
I thought he had revised it down to 6,500. I'm correct.
Seriously?
I haven't heard that.
85% drop from the top. Let me do the math again. I thought I heard in a live stream somewhere about 6,500 though.
No, it's not going to happen, bro. I don't think it will. I mean, United States, I don't know where you live, but the economy and everything, recession and everything else very well could. I don't see that happening, but we'll see.
85%'s 10,350.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Papa
we know
Bar-
he said he's always said 85%, but he's always said 10 or 11K as a result.
Yeah.
But if you look in the heading for the Kitco Part 1 interview, it says something about softening on the 11K or something. I didn't hear him revise a price, but I haven't seen the whole thing. I'm just wondering if anybody had. He didn't. Okay.
I mean, he could be wrong. He's not right about everything. He said that we're going to launch the mid-May. Didn't happen.
Could you just say that again, please, and a bit louder?
I said he can be wrong. He could be wrong. He hasn't been right every time. Is he smarter than you and I? Absolutely. So he very well could be wrong. I don't think it's going to go down 11K. I don't. We'll see.
He was wrong about the date because he's at the mercy of the devs. The devs misinformed him. That doesn't mean he was wrong. They just gave me
That's
bad
right.
information.
How do you know that? My point is, how do you know that?
Logic.
Okay, there's no solid information. The only words you
No,
hear about it
yeah.
are from Richard. You only Richard is the only one who talks about it. He can say anything, and you got to take his word for it.
I take his word for most things. I mean, you got to know there's some things he's embellishing, or you just got to know when to take things at face value.
That's my point. You just made my point for me, Iceman.
What's your point?
My point is he's ahead of Pulsechain and PulseX and HEX. He's ahead. So for you to say, well, the devs gave wrong information, the bottom line is when the head speaks, everybody listens. They don't listen to devs. They don't listen to anybody else. They listen to the head. Period. So when the head speaks, if you're a CEO of a company, you don't look and say, oh well, his salesman, whatever the case would be, the people below him gave him the wrong information, so therefore he's right. That's incorrect. When the head speaks, people listen. Bottom line, and you shouldn't speak until you know the answer. That's the point I'm trying to make.
He is who he is. He gets excited about these things and he starts talking. I mean, that's just who he is. You just got to accept it.
You got that right. I do have to accept it. I sacrificed a shitload of money. I think his project's gonna kick some major ass. Don't get me wrong. I'm all in, 100%. But at the same time, when he says may and then not, and then I'm not gonna say anything again. I understand that, and I understand why he said I'm not gonna say anything again because he understands that he might have misspoke. I'm all in on that. I can appreciate that, but at the same time, it's been a long time.
Well,
It's
I
been a
think
long time.
from stuff that I've been reading and hearing through just different places, and this could be totally off base, but if it's an issue with the validators, like the Solana type issue, we're extremely lucky that they didn't launch because we wouldn't want all that downtime and having to be shut down if if something was exploited like that. I mean, this is a good thing.
I agree with it. I agree with it. We obviously want him to get it right, 100%. But at some point, we're thinking, I don't know. Even Profix had mentioned 3 or 4 months ago. He's a Jaginator. If you look at test set and what it's doing and how well it's running, you know, he didn't see that we needed to have a V3 coming. So we'll see. I mean, I'm just excited about else. So, I'm boarded a shitload of people. I say, obviously, and a lot of them haven't been hitting me up, but for the past week or so, they're like, "Hey, Jaginator, what's going on?" And they're not beating dicks in any way, shape, or form, but at the same time, they're kind of wondering what's going on. So I don't know. We'll see. I think we're going to launch before Ethereum 2.0. I really believe that. Profix has said we can launch after. There'll be more work for the devs. But I think, Kraga told you, say September 19th. Was that the date? Supposedly, ETH is coming out. Is that what you said? Or was that not you?
That's what they said, but they've said shit like that before.
Ethereum
Yeah.
2.0 has nothing to do with Pulse.
Yeah,
Not
that's
gonna
just
affect it at
the
all.
merge that's out September 19th. That's not Ethereum 2.0.
I don't know whoever said Ethereum 2.0 has nothing to do with Pulse, but I disagree. I don't know who said it, but I disagree with you.
When the merge happens, nothing will happen to the transaction fees. Nothing will happen to the speed. It's gonna do is proof of work to proof of stake. That's it.
I agree. I agree. I agree with that. Hey, Cracker Toy, am I breaking up, bro? When you hear me?
No,
Okay. So nobody is saying that. Believe me. Hopefully, you've heard me speak on here before, but I am no way, shape, or form saying that Ethereum fees are going to be anywhere close to Pulsechain fees. Pulsechain is going to rip freaking faces off. If you look at what other layer ones have done in the past, Pulsechain is going to kill it 100%. The reason why I'm bringing up Ethereum 2.0 is because PulseX, I don't know if you know who he is, you probably do, has mentioned that if you launch after Ethereum 2.0, it would be more work for the devs. And that's a fact. That's not even a question. That's a fact. So would it behoove us? Would it be advantageous for Richard Hart to launch prior to Ethereum 2.0? Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. You have to believe that. If you don't, then I don't know.
If it is more work for them, then it is what it is. I have a strong feeling it'll be after September.
Who's talking? Krakatoa, wake up, you jack.
get fucked.
You're an idiot.
I'm a fuck.
Krakatoa, you know that's my favorite word, you jack.
I thought Jack was your favorite word. And in realistically, I actually am a Jack, as in Jack Tar. And we've had that discussion before too. You know what a Jack Tar is?
No,
I
I don't
know
know
what
what.
a jack tart is.
You want to
What is
keep
it?
your dog.
Lady Lisa, how you doing?
I'm doing good, and you?
Good, good, good to see you, man.
Start listening for a little while.
Isn't it good to come on here and hear a little bit of conversation?
What did you say again?
I said, isn't it good to come on the chat and hear a little bit of conversation going on?
Absolutely, absolutely, because it's been quiet a lot. So yeah.
Amen. I haven't talked to Papa Boner since that earthquake like 5 months ago.
It's been a while. I gotta head off real quick. Just listening into you guys.
All right, Papa. It's good to see you, man. MA, how you doing, man?
Not too bad, man. How are yourself?
Good, good. We were talking about you the other day, man. Good to see you. It's good to be back.
Yeah, for sure. Been kind of quiet the past few days.
Yeah, I met a couple of folks on here a few nights ago, and it's kind of like I told Lady Lisa, it's kind of cool to come on here and hear some people speaking. And the reason why we come on here is to get life or get knowledge. I would say with knowledge is life because it helps us make some good decisions once a Pulse chain launches. So I definitely learned some stuff from you, and good to hear from
Yeah, for sure. And it'll probably pick up, I think, once we head into the fall, probably mid-fall. I think it'll probably pick up again.
What are your thoughts, bro? I mean, we were talking about, of course, Kraken told us like, the number one question is when launch. Of course, nobody knows, but what's your gut feeling? Are you thinking before January or after?
I mean, I kind of heard a few minutes ago whether it's going to launch before the ETH merge or not. I heard, and I think that discussion did actually even come up with PulseX last week or the week before. And from what he said, or maybe it was someone else who said it while he was there, because I know he was there. I just don't know if he said it or if it was someone else. But my understanding is that it's not a whole lot of work. It is going to take some work to incorporate that upgrade or the update, but it's not going to be a ton of work. And I don't know enough about code. Maybe someone else can opine on this, but at the end of the day, maybe those updates, I don't know if they have to be made or not because it's a fork of Ethereum, but maybe someone can speak to that. But nonetheless, from what I heard, it's not going to be a ton of work. And apparently that was actually the message that was, hopefully I'm not making this up because this is what I recall. But that came from the devs, apparently. That, yeah, it's going to take a little bit of work, like maybe a couple of weeks or so, give or take, but it's not like all of a sudden, oh, we're delayed by 2 months because of this, even if it ends up coming after the merge.
Yeah, that's right.
And I heard that as well, and I did say that as well, that it would be easier for the devs if we launched prior, but if it didn't, it doesn't mean we couldn't. So I'm with you on that.
And I mean, again, I don't know enough about code, but I'll say this, my 2 cents. I think it's better if they do it after the merge for 2 reasons. One, you get the benefits of the ETH upgrade, right, for whatever it's worth. 2, you get a chance for this ETH stuff to go away, let that fizzle out, and then, hey, there's this shiny new thing on the market called Pulsechain. Whereas, again, just my 2 cents, if you launch before the merge, it takes away from Pulsechain. I think there's an argument to maybe be made that it kind of takes away from Pulsechain. So I think for that reason, and then maybe more, it's probably better if we launch after. How much
Well, I
longer
disagree with
after?
you. I disagree. Let me tell you why. I disagree because there's people that are going to put money into E2.0, 100%. Staying with Pulsechain. Now, if you launch prior to E2.0 and you get into Pulsechain day one, then it would be an advantage for him to launch prior because that would be money that would be acquired that otherwise would have been put into E2.0. So I guess you look at it both ways.
Well, if anything, then you can. I got a little bit of an echo. If anything, I was going to say, people are going to take their profits. Although I don't know. I think I don't know if you can sell like right after. I know it's a bit tiered, as far as once ETH 2.0 launches. But I think you can also make an argument that hey, folks are going to take some profits depending on how much ever is unlocked, and they'll just roll it into something else. So if you have Pulsechain that launches after the ETH merge, well, they can take some of their profits from ETH and roll it into Pulsechain. So I don't know. I mean, maybe there are more benefits to launching it after than before, but hey, at the end of the day, RH is going to do what RH is going to do, and only he knows. And I don't know which one's going to come first. Him being ready to launch, but waiting for whatever reason he may be waiting on, be it the documentary, be it the bottom of the market, be it something that you and I don't even know about, or is he just going to launch because it's ready? And I don't think anyone really knows the answer, unfortunately. And maybe that's just part of it.
Do you think the launch will come before the documentary is done or after?
So here's one thing interesting. I think Krakatoa was mentioning the Kitco interviews, and I did listen to them. They're pretty good. Because I think RH, and again, it's probably not a whole lot different in terms of time. I thought I heard him say it's going to launch before the end of the year, the interview, or excuse me, the documentary. But I think I also heard previously that it's going to launch like sometime early next year. Like I think I even heard January 1st or maybe sometime in January. But now the latest thing is before the end of the year. So based on that, and the whole discussion we had about the whole yacht stuff and whatever, and Pulsechain launching and all that. So I think maybe if anything, you can probably say it's going to be before the end of the year, possibly.
Well, they've got to find a buyer first.
What's that?
They've got to find a buyer or a distributor first. Got to find someone to distribute it or buy it off them.
Oh, the documentary?
Yep.
MA, I will say this. I think it's a good point. When you go to a movie, I said this half an hour ago, and at the end of the movie, you want to know if they lived, they died, whatever the case may be. You want to have a climax at the end of the movie, and I can see them launching the documentary on Richard Hart, on the Pulsechain, without it launching. It would be anticlimactic. I just don't see it happening. The producer, and I'm sure you heard this as well, has said, "Hey, look, we don't want to launch. We're not going to, finish this movie until you launch." And Richard Hart wanted to be over before it launched. So, and he's like, "Well, you're good at what you do. I'm good at what I do." You can watch a movie. You can be, and I said this a little while ago. If you're watching a movie, and I'll use Rocky. Everybody saw that movie, Rocky. You go to the end of the movie, and all of a sudden it ends. And before Rocky fights Drago, whatever the case may be, and you never know, they start the fight, but it doesn't finish. The movie ends. So it's got to have a climax, bro. There's no way as a producer that he's going to finish that movie without it launching. There's no way.
Sorry.
Or they could just leave people with a cliffhanger, right? Pulsechain, stay tuned. It's coming soon. Coming soon to a blockchain near you. So it could, because here's the other thing, and it could go both ways. Pulsechain could launch, right? And maybe they wait a month or two, and it could be another one of the notches that RH adds to his belt as far as look what I've done, in terms of charity and helping people and et cetera, et cetera. So that's one way to end the movie. Or another way to end it is, coming soon, and you kind of leave people in suspense.
Well, I mean, if let's just say that you never heard of Pulsechain or PulseX or HEX, and you're sitting there with your wife and you're watching this documentary, and at the end of the documentary, you Google it, and it says, "Oh, that's not launched." Are you kidding me? Hold on a second. I just watched this hour-and-a-half documentary, and I love Richard Hart projects, and this guy is amazing. And look what Hex has done. It went from nothing to 10,000x. Honey, let's buy this. Let's get online. Let's buy this. Oh, I'm sorry. It still hasn't launched. My ass. Think about
I mean,
that.
not necessarily though. I don't know. I mean, I see your point, but not necessarily. I mean, you look at some of these EV cars, right? And I don't know if this is the best of analogies, but I mean, it's just something that came to my head. You got people, for example, they're waiting on their EV cars, the Rivians or whatever, you know, the Cybertruck and stuff, years out, and they're putting their down payments and stuff right now. And yeah, some will probably cancel and do some of those things, but again, it could go both ways. It's just which way is it going to go? Maybe more. I don't know. I don't know enough about human psychology to say, oh yeah, it's probably going to be more of this than that. But I don't necessarily think that if it doesn't launch, it's going to maybe be a bad thing, and that's how you end the movie. If it ends up launching 3 years later, yeah, that's terrible. But if it's going to launch maybe within a month, I don't know, give or take of the movie ending, I don't think that's the worst thing, and that's maybe not like a disaster in terms of like the ending of like the documentary. Again,
Okay, let me ask you a question. When was the last time, and let's be real truthful, right? And I love you, and I love having a conversation with you. But answer me this question: when was the last time? I'm 56 years old. I don't know who you are, how old you are. You don't have to dox yourself, but I'm 56 years old. I'll dox myself. It is what it is. When was the last time you watched the movie? And be honest with me, please. That at the very end it said there was. I'm not talking about Spider-Man 1 or Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man 5 or Rocky 10. When was the last time you sat down and watched the movie where it said stay tuned to watch? I mean, come on. When was the last time? Please tell me.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I think there are movies that do that, right? That like leave you with, oh, a sequel is coming, but there's no way of knowing like when that sequel's coming.
Star Wars.
Necessarily.
The whole Star Wars series.
Okay. When was the first Star Wars movie? You remember?
70s or 80s.
The one, when? In the late 70s, I think.
It was actually MA. Actually, it was my very first date back in the 70s.
I'm not a huge fan. I'll be honest, but that's just me.
Yeah, me neither. I can't stand it either. I can't stand them either. I've never been a big fan. But yeah, that was back in 79. I was like 14 years old. So yeah, that was a long time ago, bro.
70s.
Think about this, you're talking about movie sequels. Like, I think we all always knew like a second Top Gun, for it just, to pick on a movie. We always knew a second Top Gun was coming. We just didn't know if it was going to be 2005, 2015. I mean, even it was supposed to be released in 2020, but then COVID happened and they kept pushing it back until they finally put it out, so you all
30 years later. 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knew that it was coming, but no one just knew when. So you always know, like, a lot of movies, they do that now, right? They'll always leave you like, oh, there's going to be another one, but you just don't necessarily know when.
Avatar. I can't believe I'm finally going to get to see the second Avatar movie in my lifetime.
Or think about, like, the Fast and Furious series.
God, that turned to shit.
Yeah.
Started well. It just turned into unbelievable shit.
But even Avatar was a badass movie. And so are all the Fast and Furious movies. They were really good. They didn't leave you hanging,
Yeah, I don't know. Towards the end, the last few series, it was too much. It was too much. They were trying too hard.
They shot a car with strap-on rockets into space to destroy a fucking satellite, for Christ's sake. Get out of here. Fast and Furious meets Star Wars. Jesus.
Well, anyways, I got to take off, but good chatting with you guys.
Okay, mate.
Yes.
Take care, brother.
See ya.
Good night, guys. Bye.
Hey, Krakatoa, you want to bet 100x, 100 hex that it launches prior to the documentary? You in?
I do not gamble.
Ah, you sissy. It's like $30 or $10 or something.
It's not the point. If I lost and I sent you the hex, I'm doxing myself because then you can see via Etherscan what I've been doing.
Krakatoa, I'm a hardworking mofo. I don't need your money, bro. I just want I just want to win. Okay, let's just do a gentleman's bet. A gentleman's bet, no hex, no Pulsechain, no PulseX. Gentleman's bet that Pulsechain will come out prior to that documentary. Fair enough?
No, I have no thoughts either way.
You're lying.
No, I don't know what they're going to do. You don't know what the producer's going to do now, or what Rich is going to do now. There's no way knowing.
I do know.
It all depends when the documentary comes out. We don't know when it's coming out. It hasn't even got a distributor yet, as far as I know. No, we've got no information. We've got no facts. I don't make bets with no facts. Maybe they can't settle it. Maybe, what if they can't find a buyer? What happens then? What do the producers do if they hawk this thing around Netflix and
You
HBO
don't
and
know
all
if they
that
don't.
stuff?
Krakatoa, you don't know if they don't have a buyer. Come on, stop
You
trying to
don't
act like
you
you
don't know you don't know they do.
Exactly. I don't, but I'm not saying they don't.
You'd think if they'd sold it to Netflix already, they would have told us because that's a big selling point, right? Hey, announcement, everybody, we've sold it to Netflix or HBO or Stan or whatever. You'd think they'd be crowing about it, but not a peep.
Krakatoa, I can say right now, hey, Krakatoa, I just heard Netflix bought the documentary coming out. And all of a sudden, people on here are going to go out and say that. So that's incorrect. People won't fact check. I mean, I'm not saying that, believe me. I'm just saying you can't believe the hype. You can't believe the media. You got to do your own research.
Oh, I'd fact check.
Well, at least you're not a schmuck.
Thank God. I am released.
Hey, hey, did you get that from me? You did, huh? I know you did.
You were pissed off at me one day and you just signed off and you said, schmuck. You're pissed off.
You're funny. Hey, Krakatoa. So today was my son's 32nd birthday, and I took him to a nice dinner. Him and his wife and his kids and a few of our family members, and so we went to one of those. I don't know if you go to one of those places where they cook the dinner right in front of you. It's like a Benihana's. I don't know if they have them down there. Do they have those down there where you live?
Never heard of them.
Okay. Well, anyways, um, so you sit down and they cook all your food right in front of you. They kind of put on the show. It's kind of cool. And I got my son into the PulseX Sacrifice. Of course, he bought some Hex too. So, and all I do is talk about crypto. So we sat down, and my son's like, "Okay, Dad, just so you know, we know we're gonna be blessed. How's Hex doing? Has Pulse launched? No. Okay, good. Well, let's get that out of the way." It's so funny because they knew darn well that I was gonna start talking about Richard Art projects. That was kind of funny. It was a good time though.
Just tell them 2 more months.
Excuse me.
I said just tell them 2 more months.
Well, it used to be 4 more weeks. But you're probably right.
If it doesn't launch this year, they'll be starting to call us Cardano.
I agree.
And if he is timing it for the bottom of the market, it won't launch until after the bottom because you never know the bottom's in until after the bottom's in. So it'll be after the bottom. It takes a bit of time for the market to reveal that the bottom is in. Definitely. It's always something you see in the rearview mirror.
What's up?
What?
Hey, Cracker, so I got a question for you. Do you think the ongoing litigation with the SEC and XRP, do you think that has any to do with the launch?
No. I think it's probably going on for a while yet. You're going to wait till after that's settled. And you know what? If the SEC loses, there'll be an appeal, and it'll be on again. And if the SEC wins, Ripple will appeal, and it'll be on again. So that's going to take a while. Both sides have got too much to lose.
Well, obviously, you know what you're talking about. You've been following it as well, just as I have. And the SEC has been trying to settle with Ripple one or two different times. And XRP Ripple, same thing, pretty much. And they did not want to settle. But you're right. They probably will appeal. Either one, doesn't matter. But it's going to go on for a little while. But I will say this. It's going to have a big impact on cryptocurrency, no matter which way it goes.
Yeah, they bang on a lot about, a lot of YouTubers, you know, bang on about, how Ripple's winning because they've won some sort of argument about discovery. But that's nothing. That's like early days. That's just like minor shit, really.
You know what's crazy is the former treasurer of the United States of America is on the board of XRP. And
Not so crazy. That's not so crazy.
Well, you're right. You're right. But that's a fact. So if that I think, and the reason I bring that up, and I know we're not supposed to really talk about third-party projects, but the reason I bring that up is because I really think it's going to have an impact on our projects. So that's why I brought it up.
Well, say the SEC has a win, right? And they think, well, we've got carte blanche to go after just about anybody, and they set their sights on Pulse and PulseX if it's launched, if Pulsechain if it launches. Who are they going to sue? There's no office they can serve a summons to. I mean, you know, it's like 33 validators all over the world. That's where it runs.
I'm not talking about it affecting Pulsechain directly. I'm talking about indirectly, obviously. Every cryptocurrency, for that matter.
Won't affect my Bitcoin.
But I will bet you this, Krakatoa. I will bet you this. I'll bet you dinner in either LA or you live in Australia, don't you?
We will never meet. Come on.
Yes, we will. Yes. Yes. Jack off. I will fly to you and buy you dinner if I lose. But I'm going to win. I'm a winner. Winners do what losers don't. Krakatoa, if you're in this chat, you're going to be loaded. You're a day one Hexican. Are you freaking kidding me? If anything's going to be loaded, it's going to be you. And I'm right behind you, brother. Unless you sold all your hex.
Hey, here's the question. Do you think Pulse or PulseX will ever each reach 1 cent USD?
Not even a question. Not even a question. Are you freaking kidding me? And let me tell you why. First of all, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked that.
I just sort of making conversation here.
No, I appreciate that. People on this chat could Google layer ones, Ethereum, Cardano, Matic, some of these different layer ones, see what they did in the first year, and then go to the dexes and see what Uniswap did, what SushiSwap did, what Trader Joe's did, and I will say this: go to what Polygon Matic did in the first year. They had 30 to 40,000 wallets, and they in their first year they killed it, just crushed it. We have over 200,000 wallets. So
Right.
with Pulsechain
What
and
what
Pulse,
what did they launch at, and what was their all-time high?
say that again.
What did it launch at, and what was their all-time high?
I don't have that information in front of me, numbnuts, but I do know this: they crushed it. They crushed it. They killed it. As a matter of fact, the reason I bring that up, Krakatoa, and I appreciate you asked that question, and I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying on the information from it. I will say this: I had lunch with a day one Hex again, and he was telling me the other day. He goes, "Checkenator, look what Polygon Matic did in 1 year. In 1 year." And if anyone on this chat has I'm outside my backyard, but if anybody on this chat wants to go on and find out what Polygon Matic did in the first year, feel free to come back on here and tell us what it did. And I'll tell you what, it killed it. And Polygon had, I want to say, 30,000 wallets. And Pulsechain has 200,000 wallets. 200,000. And they have PulseX, which has double that. So let's go back for a second. How much money came in on the Pulsechain sacrifice, Krakatoa? It's about 700 million. Would you agree?
Oh, look, I'll agree. Yeah, I think it sounds about right.
Okay. It's like 745 or whatever the case would be. And then PulseX had 1.2, 1.3 billion. So
Yeah,
obviously,
you got to remember, a lot of that was Hex. So you're
that's
going to
correct.
discount the Hex.
That's correct. I'm not disagreeing with that. The bottom line is almost double folks went into PulseX that they did Pulsechain. Now, why do they do that? They did that because they FOMO'd in because they weren't in on Pulsechain. That's the reason why Pulsechain is going to take off big time at the beginning. I think the first 6 months of Pulsechain is going to be nuts. I think there's going to be so much energy going into Pulsechain. It's going to be crazy. Then after 6 months, 8 months, it's going to kind of level off. And then once people have their money into Pulsechain and they're okay, now I'm okay, I'm in a Pulsechain, then they're going to go back into PulseX because they can single side stake in PulseX and earn that incentive token, whatever it's going to be once it happens, and be able to earn passive income. So it's exciting stuff. Plus, you get your copy over, on your Hex, and Hex is going to start at nothing on the Pulsechain. The fee is going to be tenths of a penny, and Pulse and Hex on the Pulsechain, it's going to be ridiculous. So if you're in this chat right now, you're going to be blessed. Krakatoa, won't be the first time you heard that.
If Pulse or PulseX goes to 1 cent, I'm buying half of Norway. The nicer half. The bit with all the fjords in it.
Yeah.
I like fjords.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of day one Hexicans here in Southern California. They're gonna own a lot of land here in Malibu. I agree.
Why don't they buy California and fix it?
Well, Krakatoa, I know I say I'm from Southern California, but I'm nowhere near Los Angeles, bro. I'm not in Compton. I'm like probably 70, 80 miles away from Los Angeles. I'm not in that rat race. I work 3 days a week.
I've never been there, but I'm half a world away, and even I know that it might just be a shithole.
Well, I'm a half a world away your place, and your place could be a shithole. So let's keep it real.
But you're wrong. I'm only talking about LA, not California.
Okay, well, you never been to my country. or have you?
I have.
It's not a shithole.
Have you been to Australia?
Actually, when I was in the Navy back in 1985,
You let me guess.
we
Let me
were.
guess. You
Hold, let,
almost came to Australia.
let me finish check off. So check this shit out. So it actually, I joined 1985. In 1987, we were doing a world pack. We were going around the world, and in our captain, he came over. We're going to Australia, and we got all excited to come and meet Krakatoa because we heard the women over there are really pretty and their men are dicks. And so we're all excited to pull in, and then our orders changed, and we never got to go. So yeah, you're right. I never went. I'm not gonna lie.
They got it wrong, almost right. The men are really pretty, and the women have dicks. There you go.
What are they?
So LA is a really lovely place then.
No,
Corrected?
no, hell no. No way. Downtown Los Angeles, they cleaned up a bit, but it's not good, bro. But Orange County, Newport Beach, Balboa, Laguna Niguel, Malibu, Santa Barbara. You go up to Costa California, Carmel. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And I've been fortunate to went around the world a couple of times, and I've been to 47 states, and I traveled for many years doing marketing for dealerships, including Alaska and Hawaii. And it's a pretty place. I would never live in downtown LA. It's awful. It's disgusting. But again, I live 70, 80 miles away from there. And so where I live, I live on a golf course. We got a nice little lake, take our boats out and shit. And so it's kind of cool. But it's what it is. And I buy my
I was
parents.
I was delighted when someone showed me one day. This is about a year ago. A map of LA, and it was like a specific kind of map. It was a poo map. All the places you shouldn't go, so that you are least likely to step in human feces on the street. Have you seen that one? That's probably where near the homeless people are.
Yeah, but I've been to Chicago, I've been to New York, I've been Miami. You name it, I've probably been there. And there's good and bad places in every big city, and it is what it is. You'd be ignorant to think that that's not the way. I've been in Minnesota, name a state. I'm sure I've been there, and I'll tell you the city I've been in. It's just like a person. There's good and bad in everybody. Same as the states. There's good places, there's bad places. So you could talk shit about Southern California, 100%. Our governor's a dick. Our president. Good luck with him.
Oh, who was the governor? Who is the governor now?
Newsom.
I don't know him.
Yeah, he's Pelosi's nephew.
Is she still going to Taiwan?
I don't know. They say that China is going to be putting their jets up to keep her from going.
China's full of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not a good place, Krakatoa. The trucking system right now is really jacked up. Gas prices are crazy. It's not a good place. I'm blessed to still be making good money in this unfortunate time, and it's enabling me to invest in rich art projects and different things. So it is what it is.
You can move to Maui or the Big Island.
I actually like Hawaii. Hawaii's beautiful, bro. Oh my god. Actually, There's some friends on the chat that live in Hawaii, and they call me up and have conversation with them, and it's kind of cool. It's really cool, actually.
Yeah, I've heard it's nice, except they got their state tax is pretty huge, or relatively big anyway.
So, Krakatoa, what are you going to do once Pulsechain goes to 1 penny? What are you going to do? Are you going to sell? Are you going to take a loan? What are you going to do? What are your plans? Because you're going to be loaded.
Oh, there'll be no loan. I'm never taking a loan. I'm not going to sell it all. No way. But I got a few things in a few different pies. So I'll be taking a bit from here and a bit from there and living my life. That's it. It's not going to change that much. I don't work now. So does that mean I just don't work harder?
You're such a liar. Numbnuts. Hold on.
I don't work.
Well, let me tell you. I know you. Okay, I'm not saying you don't work. I don't know you obviously that personally, but I will say this.
I haven't worked for years.
Okay, so you're fucking 80. Great. So listen. So you're day one Hexagon, and all of a sudden you're worth $20 million or 30 million. You could be worth it now. I don't know. It's none of my business.
If it goes to a cent, keep on going.
But I will say this. For you to say you're never going to take profits, what are you going to do? Just wake up dead and never take profits?
I never said that. I'm getting echo off you too. You got to turn it off. There you go. Yeah, I'm definitely going to sell up some, but I'll pick my mark. I'm not going to try and dump in the market. I'll squeeze the market gently. Depends. There's a lot of other people going to be doing the same thing, and you got to find out where the best exit points are. Is it going to be an exchange somewhere? Do they service Australia? How do I work it? Or is it going to be a DEX, then out through the bridge and on to another exchange that I already a member of, or what? Or is it a mixture of all of them?
Well,
Plus, I've sacrificed for other things as well. And they'll come into play.
As well as I have. But the point I'm trying to make to you and the people listening is that there's nothing wrong with taking profits. If you let's just say you invested $5,000 in the Pulsechain, and then all of a sudden you have $100,000 or $200,000. There's nothing wrong with taking, some profit. I know people here in Southern California that their profits went up to $5-6 million in Hex, and they never took a dime, and now it's back down to 4 or 5 cents. When so it was, and they told me, Jake and Nader, I was wrong. I should have took profits. So that's why I bring that up, bro. It'd be ignorant at some point. Speaking for myself, not you, that if you, let's just say somebody invested 50 grand and all of a sudden they're worth, I don't know, $2 or $3 million, and you take zero profits, I think that's ignorant. I think if anything, you take a couple $100 grand, 200 or 300 grand, whatever the case may be, you don't kill the golden goose, and you continue to better yourself and better your life. That's the point I'm trying to make, bro.
Yeah, well, I dumped on your head. I sold Hex.
What's that?
I definitely took some profits. I sold Hex.
There you go.
Nowhere near all of it.
How did you hear about Hex?
Because I was watching Richard Hart videos when he was a Muppet in long hair and a top hat years ago. And all he talked about was Bitcoin. How much he loved Bitcoin. I want to suck Bitcoin's dick. All that sort of shit. So he was amusing to watch. His videos were amusing to listen to. That's it. So it's natural I was going to hear about this, and it was a long time coming. Hex was a long time coming, back when it was called Bitcoin Hex. Then he changed the name just to Hex. So it was years in the making. So I naturally knew about it, and because I had a buttload of Bitcoin, I was a Bitcoin claimer. So I like to claim all those free airdrops.
Hey, Krakatoa, I'm going to ask you a question. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but let me ask you this. Since we've been talking for a few months now, are you retired because of cryptocurrency?
No.
Could you retire off the cryptocurrency? Off of
Yes.
cryptocurrency?
Yes. I could have done that a long time. I enjoyed my job. So, but I went when I had to.
So you're older than me.
I shall never confirm nor deny.
No, that's good information for the people on here, though. That's really good info. Seriously, that's exciting stuff. It lets people know that if you hold, which you did, and you made some money, and I'm in the same boat. I mean, not like you. I don't have your bags, but thank the Lord, I have a job that I do pretty well in. It's allowed me to invest in rich art projects and other things as well. I'm not retired in any way, shape, or form, but the fact that I'm glad you're sharing that with us, because if you wanted to, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, you could have retired because of crypto, correct?
Oh, yeah, a fair while ago. But you know what? You got to fill your day up, and I had a job I enjoyed, so I just stuck with it.
Amen. That's good to hear. I have a good friend that I lost like 10 years ago. He was like 53 years old, and he bought a farm in Pennsylvania. And after he retired, he died 6 months later, and it sucked. They say a lot of people, once they retire, they end up dying. And so I hear you, man. God bless you.
Yep. When I first bought Bitcoin in April 2013, and like say, call it about $100 each, I was telling everyone and where I worked, you should get on this because it was going up fast then. Just buy one. Just buy one and put it away. I'll teach you how. And not one of them did it. Like, 40 people, none of them took my advice. I'm so shit at onboarding people, it's unbelievable.
Well, Craig, I can tell you, I've onboarded a few people.
I know. He's bang on about it all the time.
Don't be a dick.
Never shut up about it. You succeeded where I failed. Yes.
No, but but I got to tell you, it's kind of cool, because the reason why I've been able to onboard a bunch of people is because I come on to this chat, and I've learned so much, so that when they ask me questions, and why do I speak with conviction, is because I surround myself with positive people like yourself. Although you and I have had our differences, we've at this point, today, even after 6-8 months of speaking, we can have a decent conversation. And like I said, I try to surround myself with positive people. So what I try to do is kind of gather more information, because information is key. When people come to my dealership to try to buy a car, I'm one of the sales managers there. I try to give them information. When I sell them a car that day or the next day, I have a huge a be back, and most people don't come back to a dealership, but they do because of the way that I treat them and I treat their family. So I believe if you're a man of integrity, in good, I believe in karma. God knows that I believe in the Lord, and I believe that when you do your due diligence and you surround yourself with people like yourself, that it just makes me a better investor. So that's why I think it's important that people come onto this chat to learn, as well as myself. I learn every day. Like I said, I'm 46 years old, give or take 10 years for people that are listening. But at the same time, when you green, you grow. When you ripe, you rot. When you green, you grow. And when you ripe, you rot. Once people think when they get to be 45, 46, whatever, 50 years old, I know everything, then you just become an idiot. You when you think you know everything, that just shows your ignorance. So that's the reason why I try to come onto this chat and continue to better myself, so I can continue to spread the word and let them know that if you get into Rich Art projects, day one, you're going to be blessed. So we're going to be blessed, Krakatoa.
Norway.
Are you going to buy Norway?
Just one fjord will do me. One little fjord.
Fjord?
Fjord. May I buy your fjord, sir?
Hold on,
From the little
Krakatoa. So
house.
you tell Krakatoa, so if I fly down to the down under, I can have dinner with you? What's going on?
Stay the fuck away from me.
Nope. Not going to do it. I'm coming down there.
Yeah, you're going to have to fly me then.
Well,
I believe Ty might live in Melbourne. I'm sure he'd love to have a steak with you.
Who?
Ty, that other guy. What's his name? You know him by another name. You were talking to him.
Are you talking about PB?
He's a moderator. No, he's a moderator in here sometimes. He used to moderate in here.
Krakatoa, are you telling me if I fly all the way down under, we can have a steak or something on the bobby?
I'll probably be in Sweden, snorting white
Dude,
substances off press.
Krakatoa, I'm single now, so I like them Swedish Norwegian women. So
That's
it'd
so
be nice.
sexist.
What do you mean it's sexist? Why? Because I'm not gay? The hell?
What would you do if you flew to Australia? Besides have a steak.
Call you up. I call you up. Tell you come. I heard the beaches are really nice.
Australia is a beach. It's a massive beach.
You got beaches. I know you got sharks. Actually, we were going to pull into Perth. I don't know. How far do you live from Perth?
Perth is on the other side of the country. Think of flying from the east coast to the west coast of USA. Same thing.
You're that far from Perth?
It would take me about, I don't know, 10 days to drive there, something like that.
10 days, my ass. You drive
I like to stop a lot.
golf
I like
cart?
to stop a lot. I got to wipe the dead kangaroos off my bull bar. I'll tell you what, those bastards line up. Those bastards line up to jump in front of you. They've got a suicide complex.
Hey, what kind of car do you drive?
At the moment, it's a Toyota 4Drive.
There's no such thing as a Toyota 4-wheel drive. There's a Toyota 4Runner. There's a Toyota Tacoma. They're different cars, but there's no Toyota 4-wheel drive.
A Toyota Land Cruiser. Do you know what that is? You don't get them. That's what they are.
Krakatoa, I'm in the car business. You know that, numbnuts.
Well, you know what a Land Cruiser is, don't you?
Hell yeah, I do. That's a badass ride, bro. That is a nice car. As a
That's
matter of fact, when I started selling,
that's a soccer mom car over here. Every second car is a Land Cruiser.
Those things, dude, 25 years ago in the United States, that car sold for $53,000. That car right now is $98,000 in the United States. That thing's badass, bro.
For some reason, Japan, or sorry, Toyota, don't sell you the cars that they sell us. And South Africa and what other countries. For some reason, they
You're
won't
right.
sell them in the US. The 70 series, like the 70, the 75s, the 79s, the 76s. I think they might sell the big 200 and 300 series. I think they might sell those. I'm not sure. But the really, really good meaty ones, don't sell them.
That Land Cruiser, bro, it's unreal. It's such a good drive. It's a great car. It's got plenty of space for you and your family if you're married. Are you married, Krakatoa?
I'm not going to dox myself.
So you're gay. That's okay. We're okay with that here in Southern California. We don't mind that. Dude, you live like 15,000 miles away. What the hell is that shit? You gonna dox yourself? Either way, I'm gonna come take you to dinner.
Gay. So anyway, that's what I drive. My next cars, I'll get another car soon.
Hey, Krakatoa, so when Pulsechain goes to 1 penny, what are you gonna buy?
Things probably won't. Another house, probably somewhere else, like like a summer house. Because summer in Brisbane, it gets friggin' hot. Like it's 40 degrees plus here regularly. Although last summer was pretty good. It was actually pretty mild. So I might buy a house down south somewhere just to have that option.
Nuts.
But nothing crazy. My life's not going to change a lot.
You know what's cool is I'm blessed as well, kind of like yourself. I don't have your bags, but I do okay financially. I think what's kind of cool is that when I'm blessed, I'll be able to bless more people. And I know you've heard my story and what my parents do and everything else. You've been here long enough, but that's what I'm looking forward to do. Is to be not, of course, I'm gonna take care of my immediate loved ones, but to be able to bless other people, it's gonna be kind of cool. I think if anything, it's gonna be a good thing. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
If you were 20 years younger, Krakatoa, what would you do?
20 years younger. Hang on, I have to ruminate on that one. You think different when you're 20 years younger. You think differently. I got to remember what was it? What was I thinking? I was thinking about different things back then. Shit.
Naturally.
$20 younger, I'd be one of those idiots who buy a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or something stupid. One of the most impulsive, bloody, stupidest cars in the world because they're no good for anything except driving fast and looking stupid. In Australia, that is. I mean, probably in downtown LA or New York or wherever it is, they are probably the shiz. But you drive one of those around, say here in Brisbane, those cars that who's that billionaire? Who's that Israeli who invested here? He's always showing them on his Twitter and all that sort of stuff, like those nice green Lamborghini Aventadors. You drive one of those around here, people will think, what a dork, because they're just not suited for Australian roads. You reckon? If you drive one of those, say, from here into the interior of Australia, the road's going to wreck your car. And some truck's just going to drive over the top of you. So it wouldn't be one of those.
Like a Land Cruiser?
I'd buy another Land Cruiser. Yes. I'd buy another one. Like I said, it'd just be more of the same. You definitely have another. I'd buy a house overseas somewhere.
In California?
Say, no, not in America. It'll be probably in Europe, possibly even Iceland, something like that, somewhere unusual. Say when it's annoyingly hot over here, that's their summer, which isn't that warm, but go live there for 3 months.
Hey, Krakatoa, so is it winter right now where you live?
Yep.
Yeah, it's hot up here in LA.
Knowing what you know now, you would just buy a house somewhere else and maybe upgrade to a Lexus.
No Lexus. No Lexus. I already know what my next car is going to be. I've already ordered a Tesla, a Cybertruck. God knows when that's going to get here. That'll be years coming to Australia. The first load of Model Ys have only just arrived in Australia. Meanwhile, in China, they're driving them everywhere.
I heard this shit.
Well, if only I had the opportunity to find out. I actually want a Model X myself, but you can't even order it directly in Australia. They took them off. I mean, you can order one, but you don't know how much it's going to cost you. You don't know when the delivery date is. They said, we'll tell you later. So it's going to be years in the future. Model S, Model X, can't get them. I went into the Tesla showroom here in Brisbane. This is before COVID. I was going to buy 2 Model X's. I like those Falcon Wing doors. I was going to buy one for me and one for someone else, another person, not a special person. And I wanted to buy 2 of them. Took one for a test drive. It was good value. It was good. And then I went back home, logged onto the website, and they got taken off. You couldn't actually order one. Son of a bitch. What's the point? And then later on they came back on, but there's no delivery date and no cost. You don't know how much it's going to cost. You can configure it, but we'll tell you later how much it's going to cost you and when you're going to get it, which means a year or more. Waste of time. I don't order shit like that.
Yeah, blue balled.
You what?
We call getting teased in the US we call it blue balled.
Oh yeah.
Around my
Yeah, that one. That was the ultimate tease. Hey, Mr. Musk, I want to spend a shitload of money on your cars and you won't let me. Give me a break.
Hey, Rocket Legs, where in the United States do you live?
That could be anywhere.
Hey, Jake, I'll send you a link. PM you a link for my next car.
Okay, cool.
Just gotta find it.
ordered one of those trucks too. One of those Tesla trucks.
They're going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
I'll say I downgraded from a Lexus to a Volvo. Not worth the Chinese stuff. It shows its age rapidly.
Lexus is a good car.
I'd argue still the most reliable.
I agree. I've been in the car business for a lot of years. I've owned Lexuses, and I have a BMW now, electric. But Lexus, I think, is probably my favorite car, bro.
The LS was fantastic, even in 08, 09. They don't really change much, but still Japanese quality. It's bar none the best.
Yeah, that LS is a big car, big, comfortable car.
There you go, Jake.
Reliable.
Check your PMs, Jake.
Okay.
And that color C, I'm getting that. But the steering wheel will be on the other side.
That's not a truck.
No, I'm getting the truck as well.
Oh, but you're buying that car too?
Yep.
Holy shit!
Next year
That's
they're bringing out electric version. I don't know whether to get it now. Like go for a 6.7 liter, or wait for the electric one. You know, do I wait a year or get it now? Or get the last of the big V12s, you know.
That's beautiful, bro. God bless you, man. Beautiful car.
And the stupid thing is, I'll turn it to my daily driver. I gotta go get a coffee. Back in a few minutes. Jump into that.
Wow, that's really nice, bro.
When you get the black badge version, the black paint is the blackest paint in the automotive industry, and the paint job weighs 45 kilos. Just itself, just the paint.
I believe it.
Sounds like a Mercedes.
What's the horsepower? I'm sorry?
I just took a guess.
Krakatoa, tell them what kind of car it is, if you want.
It's a Rolls-Royce Wraith Black Badge Mansouri.
That was my second guess. I swear. Nice car.
But you know what? If you ask a Brit, I've had several Brits tell me in this chat, "Oh, it's a piece of shit. Rolls-Royce is shit." Yeah, righto. And they couldn't tell me why it's shit. I don't know what they wouldn't say why. They just say it's all shit.
True.
Why is it shit? Did the last one you owned break down on you? Crap.
Yeah, well, you never owned one.
They probably said Range Rovers were better. They were better. They're better cars.
Range Rover. I would never own a Range Rover or a Land Rover. If I want to go out back, I want to be able to get back. You know.
Exactly. They didn't complain about that.
Even in California, bro, their reputation sucks.
What, the Land Rover?
Yeah.
I've known a couple of people that bought brand new ones, like the latest models sort of thing. And they said the first year they owned it, he just spent so much time in the shop getting it fixed. It was just like breakdown after breakdown.
Exactly.
There's your choice English car, motherfuckers. You know why Land Cruisers last so well? Is that they over-engineer them. Well, they engineer them, but they underspec them because, say, you get a V8 Land Cruiser, the engine in that thing is never running real hard. That's why you don't get massive performance compared to the size of the engine. The engine runs a lot, it runs at less horsepower than it could actually run. So therefore, it's not stressing out. Other parts are not being stressed. And that's why they run for 1,000,000 miles. So let's keep them running. And that's why they got the big name in Australia for reliability and not breaking down. Because I know in England, if you got a four-wheel drive, say a Land Rover, and it breaks down on you, where are you? You're going to be a stone's throw from some bastard's house. Doesn't matter where you go. You know, can I use your phone? You go out west here in the middle of Australia, fucking there's no bastard. There's only crows waiting to peck their eyes out of your skull. That's it.
Yeah.
You break down out there. You break down out there, you could be fucked. I had a couple of friends when I lived in Darwin. They had a Jeep. This guy and this girl I knew I worked with, she had a Jeep, and they went somewhere out. I think the place called Dead Horse Plain, and their Jeep broke down. I think it was a C7, CJ7 or something like that. This is back in the 90s. It broke down. They spent 2.5 days crossing flooded, crocodile-infested rivers, walking out, waiting, trying to find some bastard flagged someone down on a road where traffic just wasn't passing. You know, there's just no one out there. They were in shit condition when they finally got found. But,
That's incredible. You'd never hear that.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's just no one out there. I mean, we knew they were overdue. We didn't know what the fuck they were. But they spent 2 or more days just trying to walk out of there to find a road that actually might have had traffic on it once or twice a day, so they could flag someone down.
Krakatoa Jeeps in the United States are the most sought after. That car, that vehicle, I should say, is holds her value better than any other vehicle. I don't care what it is. It could be a Maybach, it could be a Lamborghini. I don't care what it is. The Jeep holds its value better than any other vehicle in the United States. Jeep is. I've been in car business for 27 years, and the Jeep people love, especially in Colorado. Oh my God! Every freaking car, it's either a Jeep or a freaking Subaru, and they're very sought after.
Okay, say if Toyota actually sold, say, the 70 series Land Cruisers in America as much as Jeeps are sold, what would the story be?
I don't know what a 70 series is. We sell Land Cruisers here.
Yeah, if you look at, they're the workhorse, the real workhorse. The mine industry use them a lot. You got the 70, the 75, the 76, and the 79 series. They still sell them.
Oh, I grew up with Toyota. Toyota is a great product. I'm not talking shit on Toyota in any way. I'm just telling you the market, especially in like Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, Kansas, whatever the case may be. Jeep's a very sought after vehicle. But to me, personally, I think the Land Cruiser blows away the Jeep. Just so you know.
I've heard Jeeps are very good at technical four-wheel driving, like rock crawling and stuff like that. I've heard that.
Yeah. It's just their preference. But I mean, but again, a Land Cruiser here in the United States, a brand new one. As a matter of fact, they don't even make them here in the United States anymore. They stopped making them 2 years ago. Isn't that crazy? They do not make the Land Cruiser anymore in the United States. That's a fact. Stop. When you use Land Cruiser right now, you get a 2019, 2020 Land Cruiser, they're going for 83,000, 79,000. It's crazy with 35, 40,000 miles on them. It's crazy because they stopped making them. So if they stop making them, people want them. Just like anything else, supply and demand.
Mate, I could step outside my house right here. I could probably see 2 or 3 parked in my street.
I
That's
believe
the
it.
way it is. Just the way it is here. That's all it is.
Hey, Craig, I took a quick question. So if I have Hex on my on the Ethereum side, do I get the free copy over on the Pulsechain side?
Is that a rhetorical question?
I'm just wondering,
Is
bro.
that
Come on,
is that even a question at all
can you help
from
me
an
out?
OG
I mean,
from an OG such as yourself? Are you just trying to generate a conversation here?
no, it's a great
Jesus
question.
Christ. Or are
No,
you an incredible fucking noob? I don't know.
What about my
I
NFT
can't.
of an asshole?
I can tell us. So we used to back in the day when there was nobody talking on the Pulsechain chat. We would just say that and just kind of get the conversation going. We all make fun of each other. But yes, the
I
answer
would
is
never
yes.
do that. I never did that.
Oh no, you never did that. No. But no, as much as Richard Hart doesn't like NFTs, they're going to be on the Pulsechain. They're going to be on the Pulsechain, and they're probably going to kick
Good,
some ass too. So yeah,
good activity is what we want. I don't care what it is.
exactly. I'm glad you said that. Like, let me go to bed here shortly, but I want to leave with this: that you know, a lot of people on this chat for the past few months will be like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna copy over, just sell all your shit and just get in a Pulsechain and PulseX," and I'm thinking, you guys are freaking idiots. I mean, if we really want Pulsechain to really take off, people need to build their projects on a Pulsechain and get a lot of people on here. Oh yeah, just sell that and buy this and buy PulseX and buy Pulsechain and all your free copies. Just sell them all, and they're gonna suck on Pulsechain. And I'm thinking, hold on a second. We want Pulsechain to really kick some ass, but yet we're coming on this chat and talking about just sell all of your stuff you get for free and just get rid of it. Now, to me, if you're a smart man and you get a free copy over, why not let that sit there and let it grow? Because people are going to start realizing Pulsechain is going to kick some ass because of the fees. It's faster. The fees are way lower, and it's just a better blockchain. Now, for all the folks that come on here and say, "Oh, well, just sell all your shit," that's ignorant. Because everybody comes on the chat and wants their bags to pump, yet they come on the chat and say, "Just sell all your stuff and get in a Pulsechain and PulseX." And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. People should invest in Pulsechain and PulseX and Hex. But at the same time, I'm going to say this because not the founder, but a gentleman that's very close to the founder with Shiba is going to PulseCon and in Las Vegas on September 6th through 9th. There's going to be a bunch of projects that are going to be going on to the Pulse chain. So there's people that are going to be going to PulseCon in Las Vegas and speaking about their projects that are going to be built on the Pulse chain. So I don't think we should be so quick to say, everything on Pulse chain is going to be so low, just sell it. I think it's a bunch of bull. I think we need to let people know, you know what? For instance, I've had folks on this chat that had DM'd me and said, "Hey, Jake and Nader, I have a project I want to build on the Pulse chain. I have $50 million. I have 20 million, and I'm not bullshitting you guys in any way, shape, or form. What do you think, Jake and Nader?" And they ask me questions. I've had live chats with them, this and that and the other. And for whatever reason, they reached out to me. But the bottom line is, we need to chill the crap out of Pulse chain and have people come over and adopt on Pulse chain. And if they don't, our bags will never grow. We need to have
Well,
people.
Jake,
Would you agree?
Jake, we had
Yeah.
we had a period of time that was just like that, and that's when we had the mid-May. It looked more like RH was saying, yeah, mid-May, right? And everybody was in here arranging their affairs and their assets ready for the copy, right? Getting ready this, buying this, exchanging for this, getting all ready, and no starting gun. Everyone just fucking blew out. Went, what the fuck? How many people made transactions that they wouldn't have made if they'd known that it wasn't going to go live, but did, and now maybe they disadvantaged because of it. Now they've still got those positions, and all of a sudden, oh shit, they went out and bought a lot of hex in anticipation of a quick double, and all of a sudden, mid-May and May passed and nothing happened, and now those hex have gone down to 5 cents. You know, that's and other things. They went out and bought stable coins or Doge or whatever, you know, and next thing you know, it didn't happen. So we've passed this hump. We've had this hump of activity, high of activity, and now we've got this downhill slide because no news. We had that time. We had that period of time. It was a fervor, you know, like you couldn't get a word in edgeways in this chat. And now, not even convicted wants to come in here, you know. We can't even entice convicted to come into the chat anymore because it's so fucking dead in here.
Well, Krakatoa, I'm glad you brought that up because we got to get the chat going again. You know, there's I've been coming out little by little.
You won't get it going until there's something in the air about something's going to happen, and we haven't got that. You don't got that. You don't got activity. Yeah, well, you can, but I'm right. You're wrong.
Well, you could be wrong, and you're wrong tonight. And let me tell you why.
It's unlikely.
Okay, well, let me tell you why you're wrong. Because this time yesterday, there was nobody speaking. This time 2 days ago, there was nobody speaking. So you're wrong. Tonight we're speaking, and there's 30 people on this chat, whatever it is, and
there was you, and then you had to yell out to me, "Hey, Krakatoa, are you here?" And I didn't have a headset on. I was doing something else. I had to walk over to the PC, put on a headset, and go, "What the fuck do you want?" That's how you got two people talking in here.
Okay, that's okay.
That's it.
It's better than nothing. There's people on here right now. They're trying to learn, and that's okay. That's how I learned. When I came on this chat a year ago, there was a few people on here, and that's how I learned. So you can't take away from that fact. There are people on here right now. They're learning. I'm learning from you right now. You know, I again, when you're green, you're growing right be raw. I'm green. I want to stay green. I want to learn. So the fact that we're on here speaking right now, it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Understand that. You jack.
We need a date. We need a launch date. If which of us to come out and say we're going to launch in exactly 30 days' time, you will then have a hive of activity in here. People asking for advice.
Of course.
How to get ready for it. If you don't have that, you're gonna get nothing.
Of course, but I will say this for the whoever many people on here, Richard Hart is never ever going to come out and say it's going to launch in 30 days. Krakatoa, you know that. It's going to be.
He did come out and say mid-May. He came out and said mid-May once.
No,
you know,
I agree with that. But he never gave us. He did say mid-May, but when he said mid-May, it wasn't a month prior. It wasn't mid-April when he said that. It was pretty much like a week prior. I think personally, I could be wrong.
No, it was not. No, it was not.
What was it?
Way before that. The previous month, easy.
No, I disagree.
Yeah.
No,
I disagree.
Well, you're from
I disagree with you totally.
You're Australian. Of course, you disagree. I didn't go to your country, unfortunately. I wish I would have. But
I'll
but
mail
but I
you.
will
I'll
say
mail you a spider. Okay, I'll mail you a spider.
what? Maybe
You can have one of our. You can have one of our pet spiders. Yes, I'll mail you a
no,
huntsman.
no. I heard the spiders are crazy out there. But I will say this:
They're our friends. They keep the
that
giant cockroaches down. Come on.
that Profex and Walrus and some of these other guys, they're thinking he'll probably come out 2 to 3 days prior is what their thoughts are and say, okay, it's gonna launch here in 2 to 3 days. And the reason why is because people start doing some crazy stuff. If he says,
He
okay,
doesn't want.
Pulsechain is gonna
He doesn't want
it's
people to
crypto.
game it.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't think he'll come out a month prior and say it's gonna launch in a month. No. I think it's gonna be like, hey, look, okay, guys, today's Monday. On a Wednesday, we're looking to have that 24 to 48 hour prior. Let's rock and roll. That's what I think. And if you want to bet another 100x, I know you don't bet. I know I come buy you dinner, but I'm gonna buy you dinner one of these days. And I don't want you to eat. Do you guys eat kangaroo out there? What's going on with that?
You can buy it at the supermarket.
Really?
Yeah, next to the pork and the lamb and the beef. Kangaroo, no problems.
How's it taste? How's it taste?
It's a very red meat, bit gamey. I don't particularly like it that much, but you can buy if you go north. You can buy crocodile. You can buy crocodile burgers up in Darwin. That tastes
Okay,
better.
so have you ever had any carne asada? You ever heard of that?
Say again.
Carne asada. You ever had that?
You're freaking awesome, Baconator. You're freaking awesome, bro.
I'm just saying. It sounds so bad. It sounds like you.
Well, I can't understand what he's saying.
Okay, listen. Carne asada. I'm from Southern California. I'm Mexican. I know you eat kangaroo and
Is that Spanish
alligator.
for? Is that Spanish for buddy burnt asshole or something? What? What is it?
No, nuts. No. What the hell is that crap? Carne asada is it's steak, but it's carved very, very, very thinly. And what we do is we put a bunch of lemon and different spices on it, and then we marinate it, and then we put it on our barbecue, and then we take it off the barbecue and we cut it up, and we make tacos and or whatever else, burritos, whatever the case you will be. But it's really tasty, bro. It tastes nothing like kangaroo. I gotta tell you, it's really good. Really good. As a matter of fact, I told you I'm gonna come out there and meet you. I'm gonna bring my Land Cruiser. Although I don't have one, but I'll buy one. But it's really good, bro. I'll tell you what, your palate will be like, oh my god. I mean, just like anything else, something different. But it's really good stuff, though.
We do have Mexican restaurants here. We find it somewhere.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Do you have
Right next to
tortillas?
the inn. Right. Yeah, got all that.
Do you have beans and rice and guacamole?
Wow. Beans and rice and guacamole. How obscure. Yes, we got that.
Well, I live in Southern
Australia's got
California.
food. Australia's got food. Well, from all over. You can even go to Texan. There's even a Texan themed restaurant somewhere around here. You got all sorts of foreign food around here, Jake.
Cool.
Like music, we got country and western.
Do you guys have like Chanier or like I don't know, Boston or Journey or Sticks or any of that? Or
We got steak restaurants. Yeah, we got that.
no, not Sticks. It's a.
Never heard of it.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Speak English, motherfucker.
I am. Back off.
I will tell you something about the car industry here, though. if you buy a car in Australia, you're probably going to pay more for it here than anywhere else in the world. We sort of jerked
Why?
off that way
Why?
because you got to get it here from somewhere else, and it's a long way. We have a we get taxed. We have a luxury car tax. So anything over, I don't know, 60, 70,000 bucks, you get taxed extra on it for the hell of it.
Gotcha.
Kind of sucks. So if you pay, I don't know, $250,000 for an average Lambo in America, we'll probably pay $500,000.
Wow.
I know, it's like that.
I was thinking about getting a Lambo, but I decided to get a BMW. So it's, kind of close.
Lambo, I love Lambos. I love to look at them. I like them better than Ferraris, but still the most useless car in the world. What are you going to do with it? You can't carry luggage or anything.
Well, to say, hold on, numbnuts. You're looking at a freaking Rolls Royce. What do you do with that? Hit some freaking
It's got
kangaroos?
fucking back seats and a trunk. That's what it's got.
Oh, that's true.
And it sits more than 2 inches off the bloody ground. One thing that did surprise me, if you do buy a brand new Rolls Royce, you don't get a spare tire.
Yeah, my BMW. My BMW has run flats. So if I get a flat on my BMW, it'll run flat for like 50 miles. So yeah.
Well, if you want a spare tire, if you buy a brand new Rolls Royce from a dealer, you got to pay extra $2,500 for a spare tire, and there's no place to put it. You just got to stick it in the boot, in the trunk somewhere. But they will sell you at an extra cost a cover to go over it to make it look nice. A zip-up bag for your spare tire. You think if you paid that much for a luxury car, you get a fucking spare wheel.
Hey, Alpha Mac, you ever had any carne asada, bro?
No, dude, never heard of that. Hey, by the way, Richard Hart said mid-May on April 12th.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
What a dick. Hold on now, Mac. I don't think it was Richard Hart. I think it was some of the other freaking people on YouTube.
Stop rewriting history. Stop it. It is what it is.
Krakatoa, I disagree with you.
Hey, bro, there's a website that you can search anything that Richard Hart has said before, right?
No.
Didn't know about that website?
No, I didn't.
All right, get something to write it down with.
The DM me.
Well, I don't mind saying it for everybody here to hear. You know what I mean? If they want to
Go ahead, bro.
get up to, you know what I mean? So the website is HEXsearch.io. You can search anything that Richard Hart has ever said on a YouTube video. So whenever you want to reference back to anything that Richard Hart has said, just go on there, type in a word, and you'll see the videos that'll pop up that he's ever said that word.
Fair enough. Alpha Mac, but let me ask you this. because we have Krakatoa on the line. You think Richard Hart, when it's all said and done, and it's ready to go balls, is going to give us a month prior to it launching? Seriously, what are your thoughts on that? Or will it be 2 or 3 days?
I don't know, dude. I know that he has. I'm not sure if it was him or I've heard people say that he doesn't want to make it available for hackers that are waiting to take your stuff to be ready as well. But then that makes it complicated because you don't know where they're at. They could be in here right now listening. So it's tricky, dude. He can say a month, he can say 2, 3 days. You never know. Anything can happen.
I agree with you. But my question was this.
He could
Hold
come on and just say he could just say it's going to happen within the next week without naming the day. And you just got to be
I agree.
you got to be paying attention. That's all there is to it.
How did it happen with Hex? Did Hex just like launch, or how did that happen? Because I wasn't here for Hex.
I wasn't either, bro. But my question to you is this: what are your thoughts? Do you think it's going to give a month? Or I'm asking you this question, not anybody else. I asked the back. I've known you for a while. My question is this: what are your thoughts? What in your heart of hearts do you think he'll give us a month, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week, or 3 days, or 2 days? And I think it'll be 2 or 3 days. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, if you're gonna limit me to those options, then yes, I would say 2, 3 days as well.
I didn't limit you, bro. What I said was this: is it going to be a month, 3 weeks, 2 weeks,
Get off!
1
Stop
week,
riding these nuts! Stop riding
or
these
2 or 3
balls!
days?
Come on!
Hold on, I'm not.
He gave you an answer. For Christ's sake, stop
No.
riding these nuts. For Christ's sake.
No,
Leave me alone, dude. Leave me alone. I'm a new guy here. I'm the new guy here. Remember?
Yeah, my answer. Yeah, my
And
answer.
Jake, I'll answer his question. Hex was always ready 2 weeks' time. It was 2 weeks away for a year. He kept on saying 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks for a whole year.
But when it launched, though, when it launched, did he say, "All right, guys, it's it launched," or did he say it's gonna launch tomorrow, or today at 6, or what did he say?
Exactly.
But he was saying that for 2 weeks, for a whole year. He was saying that it's going to launch in 2 weeks, and a year later he was still saying it because he wanted to time the launch for the bottom of the market, and that's exactly when it launched. And that is exactly when Pulse is going to launch.
So what you're saying is, you think it? Hold on a second. So what you're saying is, so if the bottom of the market is in September or October, November, then he'll launch then. Do you agree with that or no?
He'll launch as close to the bottom of the market as he can judge it. I don't care what he says, because you'll say whatever it takes. Okay.
I agree with you, Krakatoa. I agree. I think I agree with you 1,000%. In other words, let's just say that the bottom of the market was next week. Let's just say Bitcoin went down to $11,000 next week. Yes, I think he will launch. I'm with you 100%.
The thing about the bottom of the market, and if you're only using Bitcoin as the judge, fine.
Everybody does.
But
come on.
But that's a common narrative. You know what happens to the mainstream narratives? They never happen. Every time there's a mainstream narrative that everybody believes in, it never fucking happens. Ever.
I disagree.
You should have learnt that one. It's like you get a bearish sentiment in the Bitcoin market, and all these people go short on Bitcoin because it's a bearish sentiment. It's going to go down and down and down. And next thing you know, it goes up, and they all get cleaned out because there was a narrative. Same in the reverse. It happens all the time.
Nope.
And the longer stream narratives, same deal. Same deal. When it's a narrative not
No.
backed up by severe facts, it never fucking happens. Ever.
Do you have to cuss? Don't ever
Yes.
curse again on here, Krakatoa.
Fuck it all. I have to curse. To drive the point home with your pointy fucking head. The narrative at the moment is that Bitcoin's going down to 11K because Richard said it. Okay, that's now a narrative. Whether it happens or not, it's a narrative, right? It's a narrative. You see it in the chat. Go look in the chat. Everyone's saying 11K, 11K. They're waiting for 11K, even outside the hex sphere. People are saying, oh, 11K, and they're waiting for 11K.
It's not
The next
going
thing
to,
you know,
it's not going down to 11.
exactly. And they're all going to be left hanging with their dicks out because 11K never came. The narrative didn't pan out. Happens all the time. And there are
Well,
movers in the market. There are people who move the market who counter the narrative, and that's how they make their money. They look at what the narrative is, what the mainstream thinks, and they make sure the exact opposite or something like that happens, and they make money out of it.
Well, their narrative is their narrative. Your narrative ain't necessarily mine.
The narrative is the narrative. Okay, it's what most people think and say.
Yeah, I'm not most people. I'm trying to find a freaking Australia and bring you some carne asada and make you a few tacos, and you won't have dinner with me. That's
not with our border security, not bringing that shit in here. You might as well try and bring in a shaved goat.
Hey, I want to ride that Rolls Royce with you, playing some Ricky Martin music. Just so you know. Hey, how's the man? Hey, Liberty.
Oh, bro.
Hey, are we gonna be blessed or what, brother?
I'm blessed every day, bro.
That's right. I agree. You're healthy. Your family's healthy, and you got a roof over your head, food in your stomach, and clothes over your back. We are blessed. I agree.
Yep, I agree as well.
Hey, Jake, do you know why the narrative never occurs?
What?
Because if what everyone thinks is going to happen happens, no one makes money because there's too many people trying to make money. There's not enough to go around. If the exact opposite occurs, a few people make a lot of money.
Well, I will say this, Krakatoa, and you're a very smart man, but it's a good question for you, and let's see if you know the answer. How many people are there in the world? What's the population of the world? Do you have any idea? I'm sure you do.
Isn't it like 7 billion, something like that?
Yeah, it's over 7 billion. Yes. Okay. So, how many people are there in cryptocurrency? You have an idea?
3 men and a baby. Oh, not many. A few
Exactly.
million.
No, it's more than a few. A few is three. It's way more than that. It's probably about, last time I heard, 500 million, which is, I don't know, 2 or 3% of the world population, something like that. The bottom line, what I'm saying is this: if you look at what cryptocurrency is going to do in the next 5 years, as opposed to what it's doing right now, and we're counting on that, all those Hexicans, and I'm a Hexican because of you, Krakatoa, because if it wasn't for you guys, day ones, I wouldn't even be here. But if you look at how many people are under cryptocurrency and where it's going and what it's going to do in the next 2 to 5 years, let's just say, and they're talking by 2025, there'll be just under 1 billion people in the cryptocurrency. Is what I've seen. Google it. Feel free. If that's the case, and it's going to be the case, I think, because like myself, I know Kagatoa, you're not a big on boarder. Elsamak, he is. He's on board quite a few people. And you never know who you're onboarding. I spoke with a gentleman on here, I want to say a month ago, 2 months ago. And I came because I was on this other chat with Elsamak. And I just came on here in the evening time and I met the gentleman and he was a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. And we started talking, and he goes, "Hey, well, Jake and it's kind of cool that you came on here because there's really not a lot of people on here." And we started talking, and you never know who you're talking to. So let's just say that there's somebody on here right now, and all of a sudden they're hearing some life, and they're like, "Well, I own a company, I have 500 employees, or 1,000 employees, or 10,000 employees, whatever the case may be," and they start researching which are our projects and everything else. All of a sudden they start chilling with our projects, and that's how we build our bag. So, and Alpha I'm glad you're back on this chat, bro. It's such a blessing to have you here, YouTube Krakatoa. That you never know who you're speaking to, and the only way our bags are going to pump is if we continue to share the information that we've learned over the past year and a half, or in your case, Krakatoa, the past 2.5 years. I'm not a day one Hexagon, but the population of the world is, I want to say, over 7 billion. Go ahead and Google it. But the people in cryptocurrency is about 500 million, if not less. Now, they're saying if it goes to 1 billion in 2025 with all their bags, it's going to get crazy. And that's how our bags are going to get pumped. So we're very, very, very early in a cryptocurrency. Very early, especially you, Krakatoa. And Alcimac, because I know him, I know he's on a day one Hexagon. But I got to tell you, we're very early. I don't care if Pulsechain launches next month and you buy Pulsechain. Could you imagine buying Hex or First Day or Ethereum or Bitcoin, whatever the case may be? We're very early. So that's I just want to add that. Hey, Alcimac, are you still doing that life insurance deal, bro?
Nah, bro, not anymore.
Gotcha. Papa Boner was on here for like 10 minutes, like a couple hours ago. Thought he was going to come back. Jack.
Yeah, it seems that people found other things to do instead of just hanging around here. You know what I mean? I think it's a good thing that this channel's still around for people that want to learn and ask questions and whatnot. But it did get to a point where there was a lot of people just hanging around. And, I like to make the analogy of like, let's say you're at a store in line waiting for it to open and it's been hours and you're just waiting in line or something. And then you just start getting irritated. I don't know, let's say you go into the DMV and you're waiting, right? And then you start getting irritated and you start making little arguments about little things. And it was just becoming like a little toxic environment. So every time what I would be in here, I'd be like, man, we need to go do something, go start a hobby, go grow a garden, something, what I mean, to keep our minds occupied, especially after that whole mid-May thing. Um, I agree with Krakatoa. He was saying, I'm pretty sure a lot of people made some moves, made some trades to prepare themselves for mid-May. I don't know, maybe some people even, grabbed a couple loans or whatnot. You never know. And then it didn't happen. So, I could see how a lot of people would be upset if they were ready, waiting around, especially those that have been waiting for over a year now, right? So, it's in a way it sucks that this channel's kind of quiet now, but it's always still here available. That's what I like, So I'm just glad that there's not a lot of bickering back and forth like before.
You know what? It'd really suck if you were still servicing that loan that you made a year ago. That'd suck.
Right.
What's that? What's that?
If you were one of these guys, and there were some people who did it, who took out a loan to sacrifice for Pulse,
Yes. Yeah.
and now you're still servicing the loan.
Yeah. And that's why Alison, I know you've heard me say this before. And I know you've onboarded some folks as well, Alison. Only put in what you can afford to lose, guys. You can't. And there's even a gentleman, Krakatoa, you guys might remember this. This sold the mortgage his home and to get into rich hard projects. I mean, you don't want to do that. You never want to do that. You never want to. You know. I'm blessed to have been able to put some money in, and now even now today, you know, for the most part, I work at a dealership. I'm a manager at a dealership. Been in the automotive business for a lot of years, and so when I make my bonuses, whether it's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, whatever it is, I have an opportunity to put some more money into different cryptocurrencies, and that's what I do. But I do not put my rent money in there. I do not put my mortgage money. I do not put my money I can't afford to lose. But you're right, Krakatoa. People did take loans and Alsamac, and it sucks. But I got to tell you, none of my onboards did. The people I spoke with, whether it was $300, $500, 20,000, or 75,000, or 200,000, they had, they knew it was gonna be a long way, and they're starting to call me a little bit, like I said. But yeah, it sucks. It does. I ain't happy. Anybody on the chat says, "Oh yeah, it's all good. If it takes 2 or 3 years, that's a bunch of bullshit." Let's call bullshit. It's been a year since I sacrificed for Pulsechain, and PulseX back in December, in the beginning of January. I mean, it sucks, you know. But the bottom line is, I got to tell you, and we said this about 4 or 5 months ago, when all the cryptocurrencies started tanking, if you sacrifice, your money didn't tank because you sacrificed. So if you put 10 grand into Pulsechain, your 10 grand will sacrifice. It has not went up. It has not went down because it has not launched. So it kind of saves a lot of people from losing their ass unless you took a loan out. And if you took a loan out, it wasn't a smart move. But on the other end, Smack, back to what you were saying as far as people coming out here and you know, different things, disagreements, whatever the case may be. At the same point, new folks that are coming on right now are still looking for some direction, and I think that's why I was like super cool to see you on here right now. There's not a lot of people on this chat for the most part anymore, but to have you come back on is a blessing. Krakatoa, you know, it's good to see you. Even having any kind of conversation on this chat is a good thing because people are coming here to learn. And I come on the chat, you know, I'm trying to do it every day for the most part. And again, if I don't have the answer, I won't tell you. I will get the answer for you. If I don't have an answer to your question, I'll find out for you. But at the same time, this is where I learn everything, you know, for the most part. You know, there are different chats I've been in, and I've gathered a lot of information, and I'm trying to make smart decisions. Is it frustrating? 100% it is. It is not a good thing that we've been winning forever. We wanted to launch like yesterday. But at the same time, you know, LSMAC, I know you didn't spend your mortgage money or your whatever the case may be. You know, it's difficult. We've been waiting a long time. But at the same time, you know, when it does launch, um, will be day one. We sacrifice and we're gonna be okay. And if you're on this chat and you didn't sacrifice and you're still day one, you're gonna be okay. So um, just saying.
Hey, dude, you know about liquidity pools? You know how liquidity pools work?
Somewhat, somewhat. Well, is that what you're gonna do?
No, I'm trying to understand. Like, for example, I mean, I've heard how, like, for example, when the price is up, somebody will sell and then move the price down, but then they'll want to buy back in when the price is down. But somehow, um, the slippage or the liquidity pool worked against them. I'm not sure exactly how I've heard it, so I'm just trying to understand all
Yeah,
that. Liquidity pool is something I literally just started looking into yesterday just to understand how they work.
yeah. I remember like 6 months ago, Walrus came on the chat and he goes, I was just listening and somebody came in, or it wasn't crypto, but it was another guy, kind of a newbie. And he's like, hey, you know, I got $1,000. I want to provide liquidity. And Walrus is like, if you have to ask about, and I'm talking to you, obviously, but he goes, because you're trying, right now, you're trying to better understand it. And you're not going to invest until you do. But if people that are coming and say, I want to give $1,000, I want to provide liquidity, and you have to ask about how to do it, then you have no business doing it. Now, once you understand it, a different story. And I think that's what you're saying. You're trying to understand it as well as myself. Just like anything else, we're not going to invest in anything we don't understand. But I heard from Walrus, who's my friend. I actually speak with him on the phone, and he DMs me quite often. Uh, who's big brainiac on this chat. From what he's saying, you have to have like a. Well, you should probably be better off having like I don't know a lot of money. And again, House Mac, I don't know what your bags are. It's none of my business. But he was, you know, talking about a lot of money uh, that you could afford to lose. Is what I'm just giving you information I heard from him. So you know, I don't know. I'm learning like you as far as liquidity pools.
You could have just said that, bro. um, yeah, dude. Like I said, I'm literally just started looking into this. You know, it's all learning process, right? Like I just got into crypto in January, so it's a whole different world. Even though I come from the insurance industry, you know, this is
Yeah,
all just a whole new world. So there's a lot of learning, you I had to just read a whole bunch of stuff just to kind of just, be on the same level, just to be able to like hang, like to carry a
Yeah.
conversation. Coming in here and
Yep.
listening in the beginning, I had no idea what anybody was talking about. I just write down words on a notebook and research them later. And then a month, 2 months down the line, the topic would come up again, and I was finally able to connect the dots. Just little by little. That's how I learned, and recently, just looking into other things, understanding what makes price go up and down in certain projects and whatnot. I started to look into liquidity and how all that affects everything. So it's just a whole new world, dude. It's a whole learning process. It reminds me of when I went to the insurance industry.
Yeah.
Like I didn't graduate high school, I didn't go to college, but then there I am, getting licensed to the state, learning all these new concepts and how money works and how investments work, and it was just a whole new world for me. And I feel that I'm, experiencing that all over again.
It's crazy. I remember when you came on the chat, and now, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, because you spent a lot of hours on here, like me, and I didn't know anything. I was like you back in last June, you know, a year, 2 months ago, whatever the case may be. And I said, "Excuse me, I got a question." And life is good as like, taking it, or you idiot? You don't say. You just ask the question. And the gentleman who's got me onto this Pulsechain, PulseX deal, and little by little, though, we've been bettering ourselves. And I've heard you on other chats, obviously, and we've. But this is how you learn. This is how we find out what we should do with our money when you ask these questions. And it's been a blessing. And so it's now when I hear you talk, you're like, oh shit, you do know what Garnasada is.
You're done, bro. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I know quite a bit in regards to money. Like how to use insurance, and how to avoid taxes, and how to pass on wealth and create wealth and all that. It was pretty crazy learning all this shit. Like when I first
Yeah.
learned it, because I come from the hood, bro. And they don't teach us that stuff. Like we don't. You just don't get taught that there, right? Not even in the schools
Yeah.
that you go to. So when I was exposed to all this information, I was very skeptical, dude. I was like, What do you mean you don't pay taxes? That's gonna be against the law, right?" And the more I looked into it, and then the more I studied it, the more I started to realize that this was nothing new. Like the rich have been doing this for years, and it's just a matter of us learning it.
Yeah.
So that's why I went gung ho, dude, and I was like, damn, I need to learn this. So I went from freaking wearing a Raiders jersey and jeans and Nikes to wearing a 3-piece suit, and it was just crazy to learn all that. So everything that I learned in regards to how to like manage your money and all that using estate preservation, you got to set yourself up with a willing trust and all that, right? Um, now that I'm understanding crypto, it's just like so freaking amazing, dude. Like so many things you can do with it. You know what I mean? That's like the
Yeah.
crazy part.
Question for you. So, Alison, when you realize your gains, which I think, let's just say hypothetical, all chain launches. I think personally, the latest will be November. So let's just do my hypothetical. Let's just say it does launch in November, and let's just say that 'cause I know you've invested. I don't know how much into my business, but I know you invested. Let's just say Paul Chain launches in November, and then in 2 years you have $1 million. Okay, will you sell some of your crypto, or would you take a loan? What would you do?
You know what? I'm not even sure yet, dude. Like, to be honest, because I'm like so new to crypto. When like all these, like when it launches, right, and you start seeing all this moving or whatever, like, I'm just gonna sit back because just like you said, bro, like, because I watched that interview with Walrus as well,
Right.
and it stood out for me. He's like, if you need to ask if you're going to be trading or swapping pre-bridge or
Don't
ratios,
do
like
it.
if you don't, if
Yep.
if you're asking, then maybe you shouldn't. And at the stage that I'm at, I am asking, and not only am I asking, I'm asking a shitload of questions still. So
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna try to make more movements, right? So for example, um, I'm playing around with the testnet, right? And I'm swapping my PulseX coins left and right, and within 3 weeks I'm down like to like less than half of my value, and I'm just like, like I don't even know what the hell I was doing, you know what I mean? Or staking it here and swapping it for this over there, and then one went down, one lost value, and so I still have a lot to learn, bro. So in regards to what I'm doing, I'm just gonna kick back, chill. You know what I mean? Um, Even with other projects that I got into, like there was like, I know we're not supposed to talk about it, but I'm just saying that there's features for you to lock them away. I locked my stuff away. Um, I ain't planning on doing like any movement regard, with all that. Um,
No, I'm not. I'm not
once
talking about. Yeah, I'm not talking about that 20. Not to interrupt you, but I'm not talking about 20, 40, 48 hours prior to it going live. I'm talking about in 2 years, you're all of a sudden worth $1 million, or let's say $2 million because of your investment. Would you sell or would you take a loan? That's my question to you.
Well, I would. I mean, if you have assets that you can pull loans out of it, then yeah, don't sell your assets. Because you can pull
Okay.
loans and it'll be tax free, of course.
Okay. Yeah, that's, and I agree with you. I agree with you. I think that I've got friends here in Southern California that made a lot of money, and they did take profit. They skimmed some off the top. They I've got friends that make millions of dollars off of Hex, and they did pull some profit. They didn't kill the golden goose. There was no kind of loan protocol at all at that time, so they did take some profits, but they didn't take all their profits. So yeah, I agree. I think there's other ways for us to be able to take something to help your family, whatever the case may be, help your family or pay some bills or buy a house, whatever the case may be, other than selling your crypto. So we're on the same page, brother.
Yeah, I definitely do. Like for example, one of the ways that one of the strategies we used to teach is how you can pull tax free loans out of a cash value life insurance policy, right? So we will show how you know businesses and big corporations utilize these products, and they set up their executives with them while they set the rest of their employees with 401ks, right? And we'd show how these products work and how literally the companies that we were representing were making it available for these products to be utilized by like the everyday person, right? So we started teaching this concept, bro, about how to pull tax-free loans out of a life insurance policy, right? And so, for example, that's one of the things that I'm looking into doing. Once I figure out this whole thing and how to incorporate both strategies,
Yeah.
because that's one of the things that why I fell in love with doing what I do, because I was like, just like you're saying, you know what I mean? If like I used to dumb it down, dude, because I used to reach like middle and low income families, and a lot of the times they didn't understand nothing about finances, right? Sometimes, bro, I'd have to like sit there and write stick figures, like this is you, right? This is
Yeah.
your wife, and I had to
Yeah.
dumb it down, bro, because it was like I
Yeah.
was reaching my people. I was reaching the people where I'm from, like middle to way low income families, dude. I sold policies, bro, to the people selling chicharrones in the street, bro, selling raspados in the streets. You know what I mean? And the cool thing about it, bro, it was that they were able to get in the game, is the way that I used to put it, because I used to say, this is the money game. And if you don't know the rules of the money game, then you're going to lose the game. It's like trying to play Monopoly, but you don't know how to play it. You're going to lose, right? So I would teach people, like, look, it's not even about how much money you make. It's about what is it that you're doing with the money you make. And it just started with that. It started with just a simple, have you ever budgeted? Have you ever seen how much income you make and how much you spend? And, it just started just dumbing it down, dude, right? So I used to teach people how, you can utilize this product, right? Start putting money into it. A few years down the line, you accumulate some cash in there, right? And then you can start pulling out cash out of that tax free, and then you can start living a tax free life. And I would utilize all these different ways to help regular people, bro, how to do what the wealthy are doing. The only difference was the numbers. Yeah, the wealthy are dealing with millions and whatnot, and the people are helping, they're dealing with hundreds. But the cool thing about it is that now they're in the game. And what happens is, because it's, for example, because it's a life insurance policy, parent passes away, leaves it to their child. Now that changed their whole freaking direction in life. You know what I mean? And you utilize the same strategies again, and now you just created a whole new generation with wealth. You know what I mean? And that's literally one of the things that I learned, bro, on how to create wealth, or how to help, just regular people create more wealth, dude. So I fell in love with that, and now I'm trying to do it with this. You know what I mean?
Amen. I agree with you.
Hey, Jake, when you say would you sell, or when you take a loan, what sort of loan are you talking about?
Well, I can't pontificate on that here. If you want to DM me, I'd be more than happy to help you. But it's important.
You can just say the name. If I recognise it, I won't talk anymore. If I recognise what you're talking about, that's all. Is it LL?
C.
C. C is the speed of light.
Hold on. Hey, Alsabac, you know what C means, right?
C is the speed of light. C is yes in Spanish. Yeah, okay, I get you. Okay, I got you. I just want to know what you were talking about in particular. That's all.
Yeah. I'm not trying to shill any project on here, but yeah. So but
Your band.
oh my God. Hey, Alphabet, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
Hey, check this out, brother. This is gonna make you laugh. So earlier today, I don't know, about 4 or 5 hours ago, uh, I was on the chat on Pulsechain chat, and Tam or somebody had said something. Tam said something on the chat, and I said I agree, awesome, something like that. And right after that, the combat said, "Hey, Jiginator, you're level 4. You're gonna get banned." And I was like, "What the hell? I haven't posted anything on this chat in like in 3 or 4 months." And I'm like, "How am I gonna get banned for agreeing with Tam?" And this guy came on. He on the chat. He didn't come on the voice chat, but he goes, "Well, Jiginator, there's a shitload of you on here, and we don't know who you are anymore." I go, "What do you mean?" In other words, that jackass, we all know who I'm talking about, is impersonating me again on the Pulsechain chat. So he's posting stuff on this chat.
No, who's the jackass? I don't know about this one.
It ain't you, Alphabet. You know what I'm talking about, right?
What are you talking? Are you talking about? Because I heard this happened like a while back. You saying it again?
Yes.
It happened again.
Yes.
Who was it? Tell me who was it?
He was convicted.
Oh, that jackass. Okay, got it.
Yeah, that piece of shit. So Alphabet. So I agreed. I just said, "Oh, I agree, Tam." And then the combat said, Jaconator, you're gonna get banned. I'm like, what the hell? So this other guy on the chat, he's like, well, Jaconator, you've been on chat all day, and I haven't been on the chat on the text chat in 4 months. I was on the voice chat. So that piece of shit is impersonating me again as Jaconator again.
How did you get the warnings? Weren't they reporting his? Wouldn't they have to like report you? You had to have been typing.
It wasn't me, bro. He was acting. He poses me again. He poses a Jaconator again.
Oh,
He did
bro.
before.
If he posed, okay, so if he posed as you and he wrote something and somebody did a report on it, then they reported that account, not yours.
No, you're not understanding. That's smack. If I go out right now of the chat right now and I create and have 100 SIM cards like that piece of shit does, okay, and I come in and you go to sleep right now, and as you're asleep, I'm posting a bunch of crap on the Pulsechain chat, and I'm acting like I'm you. They're gonna think I'm you, and I'm not you, and that's what he's doing. It's very simple. As a matter of fact, 5 days ago, I was on the chat in Tam. You know Tam, right? Obviously.
Yeah, bro, I
There.
think you don't get what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if I get off this chat right now and you go and use a SIM card and impersonate me, and you start typing stuff in this chat, and people start doing / report on you, they're reporting your account, bro, not mine. That's what I'm saying.
Well, obviously the combat didn't see that because they tried to ban me. And I'm talking about reality. I'm not talking about pretend. I'm talking about reality. That's what happened about 3 or 4 hours ago when I agreed with Tam. So how this schmuck does it, I don't know. But all I know is that when I agreed with Tam, I almost got banned because somebody had been impersonating me all day long as Jaconator, which is that schmuck. I would think it's him. Might be somebody else. I don't know. But that's what happened. So I just want to let you know. You know what we're
Yeah,
talking about.
let's not point fingers, bro. You never know.
Well, he's done it twice before, so it is what it is, and that's a fact, and I have proof of that.
No, I'm just messing with
So
you. I didn't know it happened again. I heard it had happened though.
yeah, it's all good. You found that guy? No comment.
Jake, you're sharing your tinkle with us.
I'm drinking water. I'm not going pee, nerd.
Wash your hands after anyway.
I think Jake drinks his own pee. That's what I've heard.
I'm not from Australia, Krakatoa.
It's got electrolytes.
I'm going to slide on out of here. Go watch a movie. See you later.
Okay, Krakatoa, good to see you, man.
You too, Jake.
Where'd you go, Papa? Did you go eat or what?